Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another important topic for CSS, which is the methods to insert CSS for your HTML web page. Okay, so in this session, we will discuss how many types of methods are there through which we can include CSS or cascading style sheets into web app or HTML page. Clear? So there are total three methods, three ways are there through which we can apply CSS to HTML. The first one is inline CSS, second one is internal CSS, and the third one is external CSS. We will discuss each and every type in detail from scratch to advanced. Okay, but for this session we are just focusing on the first way to insert CSS, that is inline CSS method. Okay, so what we will do now, like I'll explain you what is inline CSS, how to implement it, what are advantages, what are disadvantages, and why do we need to write inline CSS. Clear? And when we are supposed to write inline CSS. But before we proceed with the session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just focusing on only the one part of CSS, that is how to use inline CSS for HTML page. Clear? Fine. Now if we look at the code is very simple and straightforward. I have just noted down one heading in the body section where we have just put this heading, which is CSS or Cascading Style Sheets by Sharmit. So if I save it and refresh the browser, you will see that yes, this is coming on the screen as a heading. Now what we will do, we will add another heading. So here I'll simply write H2, and today's topic is inline CSS method, or you can simply write inline CSS, that also works. Fine. So this is the thing that we are going to learn today. What is inline CSS? Okay, so before directly starting the coding, let me tell you the exact definition for inline CSS, so that if some of you are preparing for interviews or maybe for exam or anything, so they can simply answer this thing in a simpler way. So if someone asks you what is inline CSS, so you can simply say that inline CSS involves adding style rules directly within a HTML element using the style attribute. Okay, so this is a kind of different thing between inline and external and internal, that here in case of inline CSS you can directly apply the style attribute to the element itself. Okay, so that's why we are saying that inline CSS involves adding style rules directly within an HTML element using style attribute. Okay, next, this method applies style exclusively to the specific element it's added to, overriding any external internal CSS rule that is applied that might target the same element. Okay, so let me explain in a simple way. Suppose we have applied one style attribute to any of the element of HTML. Okay, later you also applied external CSS, you also apply internal CSS. So in that case, what will happen, the priority would be given to only the inline CSS because it contains the highest priority level. Okay, fine. So I think now the definition is clear, like what is inline CSS. So if someone asks you, you can simply say that in inline CSS method we can directly apply the style into the target element of HTML. So let's say if we want to apply style attribute to heading, we can directly apply it to heading. If we want to apply it to paragraph, we can directly apply it to the paragraph. Clear? Fine. So definition is clear. So now we are good to start with the practical thing. So what we will do now, I'll create one paragraph here. Okay, and here I'll just write some sample data, data 1. So this is the first thing. Okay, now what I'll do, like in paragraph, obviously like there should be multiple line, but just for the example I'm using this data only. And what I'll do now, I'll copy it from here and paste it 2 times so that I can show you, like if we are applying it to a particular element, it will work only for that element, not for others. Okay, so that's why I have copied it 2 times. So let's make it this 2 3. Now you can save it and refresh it. So far, like, we have not applied any kind of attribute or inline CSS to any of the element. Now what we will do, we will apply the inline CSS to the first element. How? By using inline CSS method. So to use this method, what you are supposed to do, just go to the target element. So this is my target element. I want to apply CSS to this paragraph 1. So what I will do, I will simply write here style, which is an attribute. Then I'll select my property. So there are multiple property, and as we are using the VS Code, so you can use any of the property which you want to use. So I'll use this color property. Here I will select the value, any value which you would like to use. For example, I want to use this chocolate color. Okay, so I can simply select it and I can save it. Once I save it, I can refresh the web browser, and now you can see the first text has been changed to chocolate color. Okay, not only this, let's say if you want to apply another property to this style. So what you can do, you can simply write here font. Let's say I want to change the font size. I can click here and then I can provide the value as 50 pixel. Then you can simply save it and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you will see that now the first paragraph text is changed to 50 pixel with color chocolate. Clear? So this is how it works. Now one more thing you should pay attention to is this thing. You can see that we have applied style attribute only to the first paragraph, and that's the reason it is affecting only that paragraph, not the other one. Okay, so this is the main point for this inline CSS, that if you have applied the CSS for a particular tag, it will work only for that tag, not for other. Okay, fine. So I think now two things is clear, that inline CSS is a method through which we can apply style attribute directly to the element. So you can now verify the definition, right? Because this is a style attribute and we are directly applying it to the target element. Let's say if you want to apply here also, yes, you can apply. There's no restriction on it. You can apply on other elements also, like heading, table, or anything. Okay, but it will only be applied to that element. Let's say if I want to change here, okay, so I can do one thing, like I can provide style color red. Okay, so what it will do now, for the second paragraph, it will show the text color as red, or maybe we can change color, otherwise you might get confused. So let's set as blue. Fine, now you can see the difference, right? The first one is different, second one is different, third is different, because for third one we have not applied any style. Clear? So this is how we will apply the inline CSS to HTML element, and it is not fixed that you have to write only for the paragraph element. You can use it for any element. Fine. So now this thing is clear, like how to apply inline CSS. But the question comes, what are the advantages of inline CSS? Why do we use it? The first advantage is it is quick and easy to implement. Yes, you can see it is very simple. You just need to write the style tag in the element, and that's it. Okay, it will work as per your expectation. Clear? The next thing is high specificity. Yes, inline CSS has the highest priority. So if we have applied three types of if we have applied CSS to an element by all types, like using external, internal, or inline, so inline will be given, the priority would be given to the inline CSS. Clear? That's why we can say that yes, it is a high specificity. Then we have third point, which is that this inline CSS is mainly used for dynamic styling. Yes, inline CSS is often used in dynamic web application where style needs to be applied programmatically. Clear? Next benefit is there is no external file required. Yes, if you are using inline CSS, there is no need to create a file with .css extension. We will see how we can use that, but for now you can keep it in mind that if you are using CSS, inline CSS, there is no need to include the file. And we can see here, right, we have applied the CSS and we don't even include any file or anything. So that's the advantage. Now the question comes, what are disadvantages? Yes, there are some disadvantages for inline CSS. First is poor maintainability. Yes, so suppose you are working in a project where multiple paragraphs are there. So in that case, if you are going to apply style to each and every paragraph, it is very poor to manage, right? We are not able to, because it would take lot of time to apply property to thousands of paragraph. That's why we can say it is a poor maintainable. Limited reusability, yes, here we are not supposed to reuse the property or style. In case of external, we can use it for multiple, but here you will see that no, it is it provides limited reusability. Performance issues are also there, because for larger website, inline CSS can increase the size of your HTML, which leads to slower page reload. Okay, so that's why we can say that it might cause performance issues. Now the question comes, like, if we have advantages as well as disadvantages, then when to use inline CSS? So go for inline CSS for small projects or prototypes, okay, where you just want to quickly style your things. Testing and debugging is one more option. Yes, sometimes you just want to test something, so in that case you can use inline CSS. Dynamic styling, like in JavaScript driven application, we can use inline CSS. Okay, so these are the things that we can follow for applying, like these are the scenarios where we can apply the inline CSS. Clear? So yeah, that's all for today. I hope this session is clear to all of you. Here we just discuss what is inline CSS, how to apply it, what are advantages, what are disadvantages. In the next session, we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.